Okay, so in one of my last videos, I asked you guys to give me ideas of what you would like to have the next video on. We want to see how you cut your t-shirts. So this is a t-shirt cutting tutorial, I guess. This is something I've been doing for a while. I mostly do it because down in North Carolina here, it's really hot. And our gym gets hot because there's a bunch of people in it. But also, a lot of times we get t-shirts from our sponsors, from different competitions, and they're male cut t-shirts. So they're usually pretty wide in the sides for girls. And then I really don't like the girl cut t-shirts because they're always really tight up in the armpits. So basically I just like to cut them to make them comfortable for the way I feel. So I like doing two types of cuts. One type of cut is just a real simple sleeveless cut. This was a girl t-shirt, so this one was easy to do because it's narrow, but I just needed to get the sleeves out of the way. So this one was a real simple cut where I just cut the collar off and I basically lined it up and cut a curve along the sleeve. So it was very simple. I like to wear it for squats because it's up high on the neck. You don't have to worry about the bar cutting your back up, things like that. But it's a little bit harder to make more of a tank top type of shirt. So I'm going to use one of my newer t-shirts from LVD Fitness. I love this company because they have a mission to get people clean water. So the proceeds from this help get people to have clean water up in Canada. And also, we're working on one for America where we'll be sponsoring an American charity to help people directly in America. So I also really love their symbol because it reminds me of Transformers for some reason, and I'm from Detroit. And also, their shirts are super soft, so soft. And I love the cut. So for this one, when you're first starting off with cutting a t-shirt, the biggest thing is to get it all nice and flat, get all the wrinkles out. Otherwise, the scissors will jump and you'll have issues. Really just have to worry around the collar and around the sleeves. Second most important thing, sharp scissors. You don't get a good cut unless you have a sharp pair of scissors. I don't think these are necessarily fabric scissors, but they're new and I only use them for cutting t-shirts. So maybe I do have a t-shirt cutting problem since I have a designated pair of scissors. Hadn't thought about that. Okay, so I'm going to transform my LVD Fitness shirt into a sleeveless shirt. I like to start with the collar. The collar I like to start in the center because if the scissors slip and you make too big of a cut, you could always make it kind of a V-neck shirt. So thinking ahead to mistakes. So I start just in the center of the shirt. This is the thickest part, so I want to cut down to the bottom of the seam and stop. You want to do this very slowly so you don't make too big of a cut. So I'm going to start right here, and I just very slowly, they're very sharp, so it's easy, and once you get over that seam, just want to do it really slow. Okay, so I kind of have just a little V here. So then basically, I'm just going to cut down around the bottom of the seam that has there. So I'm going to start this way. I'm going to try to keep this pretty tight. I don't want a huge neckline on this one. I usually don't do too big necklines because when you bench, I don't want the bar hitting me in the chest. And then when you squat, I want the bar covered with the shirt that way. So I did a half moon here. I'm going to start over on the right so I don't have to flip and twist the shirt around and, it sounded like I said shit around. Twist and pull the shirt around and, get all the wrinkles back out. So I'm just going to go to the right now. And again, really careful over this, where the seam is so I don't make too big of a cut. And then I'm just going to come down this half moon here. And around, and that piece is done. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep this one up kind of high. If I weren't wanting this to be a squat shirt, I could just cut it with the around the same pattern as I had before. So I'm just going to follow this seam around like this, just around the bottom of it. Enough. Okay? So now we got that. So now you're just going to focus on one side of the shirt. You want to sort of decide how wide you want your shoulder to be. I don't want it too wide. Usually I go about 1.5 inches. And then you want to kind of cut in a little bit, kind of with the angle of the shirt. But then you want to kind of go low and kind of go in so that you don't get kind of a flappy bird where it sticks out like this, okay? So basically I just sort of estimate on one side how wide I want it. So I'm gonna go probably, that might be 2 inches. And I just freehand this. I'm trying to keep the same angle as the t-shirt sleeve here. So I hold one side to kind of give it some tension. And then as I get down, I want to take it down below the armpit. So I'm taking it down below the armpit. And then you kind of want to do a cut out to the right so that you don't have kind of a big flap in your shirt. So we'll see how this looks, okay? So when you cut it, sometimes you'll get these kind of, I don't know if you can see there, these kind of little jagged pieces. It doesn't really matter too much because the material is going to roll in a little bit. See, it's already rolled in. But if it bothers you, like if you got like this one sticking out pretty good, I'm just going to trim it right off because I don't know, I like things a certain way. All right, so now once that you have one side done, you want obviously the other side to look the same. So we want to match up. So I'm going to match up the two shoulder seams, put it back down. Got to get all of this. Really, the only thing that needs to not be wrinkled is the top part. So I'm going to make sure that this is lined up good. I'm not doing a very good job here. I'll tell you how soft this material is. I love it. Okay. And make sure that's all lined up correctly there. And so basically we're going to just use the top as a pattern for the bottom. So steady hands, steady hands. The back looks, just the front looks a little bit puckered, so I'm actually not going to cut the back at all because I like the way that looks. I'm just going to have to angle this top in just a little bit, and also when I wash it, it's going to take some of that away too. But I just got a little bit too straight here, so I'm just going to trim it up a little bit so that part looks good. And then make sure I got the same section here. And it was just kind of this little part right here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of an angling there, and that'll take care of that. All right, so I got my shirt. I like this shirt because I can bench in it, I can squat in it, and then I got lots of room for the arms. So your job now in the comments below is to come up with ideas of what to do with the sleeves. So do we make like some really cool like Ultimate Warrior kind of armbands with these really cool sleeves? You know, I'm all into the environment, so we can't have any waste. We need to reuse. So we could do LVD armbands like this, or we could go sweatbands, old school sweatbands, right? Maybe something for the head. What do you think? What do you do with your leftover sleeves when you cut a shirt?